Hi everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. Well, where do I start? Yesterday was an absolutely amazing day for MTPredictor on the USE Minis. Days like this don't unfold very often, but it was absolutely quite phenomenal. So I just want to go through and show you how we were reviewing the day yesterday. This was Tuesday, the 13th of January. Remember, for more experienced users, we don't look at the STF color, we look at the DPs on the higher time frame charts. I just want to show you how powerful these were yesterday. So for this, I'll go to a 15-minute chart, which is what you'd have done before the market even opened. Let's put a bit of white space on the right-hand side here so we can get a real true appreciation of how this was actually working. So before the market even opened yesterday, this is showing the true power of these leading indicators. You'd have gone back to the prior pivot high, which was here on this 15-minute chart, right mouse click, do decision point. And as you can see, that would have been on the chart in advance, quite a way above where the previous day, which was Monday, the 12th, actually closed. Let's see how this then manifested on a 3-minute chart. Again, I'll just take the space off there. That's what it looked like before the market opened. And as you can see, there's your your resistance area way up there in advance, and of course you think that's way off. So let's see what happened as the day unfolded. So the market opened. What happened then? It then rallied, and it rallied up to hit that particular level there. But it didn't open at any old place. It actually opened using a gap up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go to our indicators, and I'm going to put our opening gap indicator on the chart just very quickly to show you what I mean on that. You can see here it actually did an inside gap up. Can you see that? The indicator told it an inside gap up. In other words, it gapped up but inside the previous day's range. Now what do we know about this? Well, the tendencies for inside gaps are they go back to the prior day's close. In other words, they fill the gap. Now quite a lot of people trade these anyway, and what it means is you're looking for a move back to the previous day's close, but the thing is you don't know where the actual reversal is going to start or happen. This is where we had the advantage with MTPredictor, because we had our decision point level on our chart in advance. We knew that even though there was an inside gap and we anticipated the market was going to go back to the previous close, we actually knew an area of where to start looking for that particular close to start happening, so to speak. So what we do is wait till we get up to the resistance area. We then have a red sell bar. That gives us an indication of sellers overcoming buyers. We then use our right mouse click, our manual risk reward tool, to then place a potential trade around that red sell bar at our resistance area. Remember, that was on the chart in advance, with a potential profit down here at our previous day's close. And as you can see, position sizing took care of the small initial risk, and the potential profit was a massive 8 times greater than initial risk. As we scroll forward, we can see the market then came down, and that's exactly what happened. Interesting enough, because this was the larger degree or higher time frame DP resistance, the large degree trend was down. Therefore, standard MTPredictor users would have been avoiding, or I should say advanced MTPredictor users would have been avoiding these buy setups and looking to take short setups, of which there was a TS2 sell there later on, which I can have a look at in a minute. So there you can see the market did exactly what we anticipated, but look where the market started to reverse from, right at our 15-minute DP level. The market then came down to the close. You could either take an 8-hour profit there, which would have been very nice, or because the STF was strong, you could have then gone back to the 15-minute chart, just as we did as well there before, gone back to the prior pivot low, which was here, right mouse click. Again, that gives your support level on the chart in advance. So let's see how that would have manifested on the 3-minute chart. Well, here we are at the previous day's close, but you might have well wanted to say, because the STF was strong, you'll trail it using your ATR stop, or at the very least trail it until you reach this lower 15-minute support zone. And that's exactly what the market did. You can see it came down to your 15-minute support zone, where you may have said, right, now I want to start trailing at say the bar highs, and that would have locked in an 11-hour profit. An absolutely amazing profit. If we now take the right mouse, sorry, the right white space off, we can see how this would have looked at the whole of the day. So there you can see you'd have actually taken a short trade off a bar that nailed pretty much the high of the trade and come down here to bank an 11-hour profit, which would have been absolutely amazing. For you standard MTPredictor users, you could have taken a TS2 sell here. In fact, actually this was on a black STF as well. Knowing that the largest degree support zone was down here, rather than looking to come out at your first target, you could look to run the trade a little bit further and come down to maybe the same place as before, and again that would have added an additional 11-hour profit. So an opportunity for a great pyramid for yet another brilliant short trade. But the market that actually I thought was the best was actually the NQ. So just have a look at this. I'll just take the gap opening one off there. Just bear with me for a second. So this is the one I liked. Again, we go out to the 15-minute chart, just as we did with the ES. There was our prior pivot. Right mouse click. There was our higher time frame resistance. Remember, that would have been on the chart before the market even opened yesterday. So that would give you an area of where you think resistance would unfold. And as you see, that nailed the high of the day absolutely perfectly. So how could you have traded this? Well, on a 3-minute chart, we come down and we look for trade setups unfolding at these levels. Again, we don't look at our STF color. For advanced traders, we know we're at a higher time frame resistance, and look what unfolded. Right at that level, we had a DP, an automatic DP sell setup. Place the analysis on, that would have got you in a short trade right at the high of the day. Just as we said before, the gap trade would be what you're anticipating the market to go to, so you wouldn't want to come out just at your first target. You'd be looking to come out at least the prior day's close, which if you'd have taken that, look at the profit on that, that would have been about 23R, or 23 times greater than the initial risk. If you'd gone back to the 15-minute chart, place your DP support zone on here, there was the level where you anticipated support. As you can see, that now the low of the day perfectly. You come back to our 3-minute chart, looking to then perhaps trail it at bar highs just as it reaches that 15-minute support zone, would have locked in a massive 31R profit. I mean, that's absolutely amazing, where you would have taken a short trade off the bar of the high of the day and come out pretty much at the low of the day. You know, that's an absolutely outstanding profit. For you guys a little bit more experienced, will also notice, if I place the cursor on, that this bar here, the bar before the DP sell, was actually a VSA bar. Can you see that? Our red VSA bar on our volume. In other words, this bar here indicated that we look to the next bar to see whether the market's failing to follow through. That's exactly what happened to the DP sell. This then told us that professionals were coming in and selling the market at this level. Therefore, we could anticipate a big move to the short side. So that gave you added confirmation that the market was going to decline. Remember, because this was larger degree resistance, we're not looking for buy setups, we're looking for short setups on the way down. So not only could you have actually got this 30R profit, I still find that amazing, that's quite so large on the decline down here, but this TS2 sell setup here would have also given you an opportunity to pyramid if you're more experienced, and again, you wouldn't be looking to come out at the first target, you'd be looking to run into lower profit targets because of all the analysis I've said already, and that could have added another 20R profit there as well. So, I mean, I'm absolutely flabbergasted really on how amazing our DPs worked on our hard time frame charts yesterday, and particularly how we had this lovely DP sell, which is also a VSA trade setup, right at the high of the day there on the NQ. Taking the trades down into the higher time frame support zones, remember, I have to keep stressing that these support zones and resistance zones are on your chart in advance. They're leading indicators. This is not in hindsight. They are there ready waiting for you before the market gets there, and as such allows you to manage the trade accordingly. So an absolutely amazing day. For me, the best trade of the day I think was this DP sell on the high of the day on the Nasdaq. If you trade it down into perhaps trail at the bar highs once you reach the 15-minute support zone, a massive 30R profit. If you'd used our trade module, once you got down to this area here, you could have just clicked on the bar button and that would have trailed at the bar highs and then taken you out down at that level down there. So an absolutely amazing day for MTPredictor yesterday. We don't have days like this unfold every day. It'd be lovely if it did, but I just thought this has been a great example to show you how we approached the USE minis yesterday, particularly having our 15-minute support and resistance zones on our chart in advance. This helps so much to help define the playing field, to know which direction the largely trend was and anticipate these higher time frame support and resistances. And as you can see, a great trade there off the bar of the high of the day, and an opportunity to actually pyramid or add additional short trades on that TS2 sell on the way down there. To be perfectly honest, I wouldn't have bothered about trying to take any setups later in the day, because after such a phenomenally profitable day earlier on, you'd have probably just said thank you very much and walked away for the rest of the day. But an amazing example of MTPredictor in action on the USE minis yesterday. And this is just not me saying this. I've had loads of emails from our customers coming in also reporting of some great trades that they actually did themselves. One guy called Greg said he actually took this TS2 sell here, ran it down, and he actually made an 18-hour profit on his own trading account as well. So it's nice to see MTPredictor customers making use of this analysis and making some lovely profits on their own accounts as well.